Hello guys, welcome to DigiStrokes. In today's video, we'll give you a detailed overview of the Affinity Photos user interface. On your screen, you can see we have opened three documents in our Affinity Photo. When you open multiple documents, you will see these tabs above your document. Now, we'll start from the basics. Whenever you open a document, your pan tool will be selected initially. You can use this to pan around with your file. Now, if you want to zoom in on your document, you can click on with Control plus 1. It will give you 100% zoom. But if you want to zoom out completely, you can click Control plus 0. You can also use Control plus scroll your mic to zoom in and out of your photo. Now we have clicked Control plus 0 again to come back as our document was. On the top, we have the menu bar with different options like file, edit, text, document, layer, select, arrange, filters, view, window, and help. All these menu bar options have different options under them. In the file menu, you can open new documents, you can export documents, and a few other things. The edit options gives you the option to cut, copy, paste, use the content aware tools like fill with primary color, etc. There are then the text menu options, the document resizing, flipping options, layering options, masking options under the layer menu, the deselect, select all, refine edge options in your select menu, arrange menu, filters menu has abundance of features like blur, sharpen, distort, frequency separation, and a lot more. Now we have the V menu. In the view menu, you have studio presets and different studio options like macros, etc. if you want to speed up your process. The last two are the window option and the help option. Now, we'll start with the main five personas that Affinity Photos provides us. And this is the only reason why Affinity Photo stands out from any other editing application out there in the market, including Photoshop. The first persona is the photo persona. The second is liquefy persona. Third is develop persona used in raw images. Then is the tone mapping persona, which is used for HDR images, and the export persona. Now, what are these personas? Basically, these are particular areas of working which require different tools, which makes it very easy for editors. Here we have the auto levels, auto contrast, auto colors, and auto white balance to speed up our editing process. Now we have different options like select all, invert selection, force pixel alignment, snapping options, move back one, and all these other options that we'll use later in our editing process. Coming down from here, on the right hand side, we have different panels like the histogram panel to study our image, the highs and lows of our image. Now we have the color menu, and beneath that, we have different adjustment layers, effects, style, stock. We have the swatches, brushes, library, and assets. Now, in the adjustment menu, we have different options like levels, white balance, HSL, brightness, contrast, vibrance, exposure, etc. With that, we have the layers menu. We can here add as many layers as we want. We can use layer masking, group the layers as we like. You can change the opacity of one layer over the other from here, and these are different blend modes that we can use. Now, on the left hand side, here we have the tool menu of our photo persona. You can simply click on any tool that you want to use. But what is this small arrow under some tools? This small arrow means this is not a single tool. This is a tool group. Now, how can I access what other tools this holds? I can simply hold click on a particular tool and it will show me what all other tools are included in it. Or I can simply right click and it will let me know. There is a third way to do that, and that is known as precision clicking. You can simply click on this arrow and you will see how many tools are included in it. Now that we have learned about what all does the photo persona hold, we can move to different personas. But mark my words that most of your time you will be spending in the photo persona in itself. No issues. Now we'll move on to the liquefy persona. Now, by the word liquefy, you understand that this persona stands for distorting of the image, or it can be used effectively if you are a food photographer and you are continuously working with things like honey and chocolate syrups. How? I'll show you. Here you can play around with particular pixels like these. You can distort your image as you like. Now, if I want this effect to be applied, I'll click on apply and my image will move back to the photo persona. But if I don't want to do that, I can simply click on cancel and my main photo will return into the photo persona. Next we have is the develop persona. Develop persona is used for raw image editing. For that, we have already opened a raw image in our document. I'll show you what happens when you open a develop persona. The moment you open a raw file in Affinity Photo, the complete interface changes. On the left hand side, you see various retouching options available, and on the right hand side, you see different adjustment options like basic exposure, black point brightness, contrast, clarity adjustments for your raw images. This persona plays with your pixels very in a very defined way. Now, you have the lens correction options available, the detailing options, tones options, and overlays options. Now I'll show you how this persona is very effective and how you can check your before and after photo in this persona. For example, if I up the exposure of my image and I also change its clarity and I add some bit of contrast to my photo, what happens is my image changes. Let me bring down the contrast so that you will see what changes we have done to my photo. Here you will see these three options. This is the split view option, this is the mirror view option, and on the left hand is the single view. Currently, we are viewing the single view option. If I click on the split view option, you will see a separation bar in the middle of my image. The right hand shows how my picture looked before making adjustments, and the left hand side shows how my image is looking after all the adjustments. To give you a proper view, let's slide this slider. And if I move it back to right hand side, you will see the effect applying to my image. Now, isn't that an impressive feature? That's what make Affinity stand out. Now, if I click on develop, I will move back to the photo persona. Let's click on develop and see what happens. So now guys, as you can see, we have moved from our develop persona back to the photo persona. And here we can manipulate our photo as we want. So guys, now we'll move to the next persona, which is the tone mapping persona. But before that, let's close this raw document. Now it asks us whether we want to save the changes or no. We wouldn't like to save these changes, so no. Now, coming to this document, we'll click on the tone mapping persona. The tone mapping persona is basically used for HDR images where the brightness values are higher. So when I click on the tone mapping persona, we'll see that Affinity Photo starts studying the photo. And in addition to it, it will provide us with some particular presets like the detailed, cooled, black and white, high contrast features. And on the right hand side, we'll have two methods to edit our photos. That is the tone compression method and the local contrast method. So now we can simply click on the presets mentioned on the left hand side. For example, if I click on the dramatic one, let's see what happens. Our image has completely changed, and to maintain a proper balance between these two sliders, we can always check them by sliding them more or less. For example, if I decrease the contrast, let's see the changes that have happened. Now, if I want this image to develop, I'll click on apply. And if I don't want it to develop, I'll click on cancel. Now, the last persona that we'll talk about is the export persona. But initially, you remember I have told you that in file, we can export. What happens if I click here? If I click here, I have various file formats which I can select. And here I can change the size of the image, and I can use the quality slider to check in which quality I want for my image. And the estimated file size is shown here. If I want to export this, I'll click on export. If not, I'll not. Now let's see what happens in the export persona. If I click on the export persona, now my image, the overall user interface has changed. By default, the slice tool has been selected. How is this useful? I'll show you. For example, if I just want this particular tree selection, I'll select this. And if I want this person, I'll select this image. Now we have two slices selected here. We can check in at slices. I can control click, select both the slices and remove the tick from the main image. And I can click on export slices. What will happen is I have selected a folder on my desktop as export, and here I'll export these two slices. And now it is saying that I already have slice 1 and slice 2. If I want these to be overwritten, I'll click on export. Now these two images have been exported separately. In which format? Here is the format you can see, that is JPG. Here we can change from high quality, low quality, GIF, TIFF, whatever we want to choose, and even PNG. That was all for our video, guys. Make sure you subscribe our channel, let us know how our video was, and don't forget to like, comment and share. Thank you, guys.